This thing is sticky.
I pushed the button, man.
Oh, we live.
Hey, it's almost New Year, and as you can see, nothing has changed. We're late. We're talking about random, unrelated, sticky amen flames. Welcome to another exciting episode of the Northwest Brewmeisters. I'm Jamie.
I'm Steve.
And we're just two guys from the Pacific Northwest who like beer.
I think you should too.
That's right. Everyone should like beer.
Everyone should like beer. It's been a while. We've been on hiatus for a month.
Yes, we have.
Because from Thanksgiving till now, we're both very busy in our families. Well, I was out of town. Jamie was out of town earlier, and so we just decided to take this time off to stay focused on our family affairs, and then it just kind of worked out. The last Sunday of the year
happens to be New
Year's Eve after everything's been said and done with our our family priorities, and so we're like, we're brewing New Year's Eve.
We could think of no better way to celebrate New Year's Eve. Really, there is nothing better. Okay, I gotta remember how to do this.
Do you have your glasses? No,
I do.
You do. Okay.
Wait. Oh, I actually have them in my pocket.
Oh,
wow, I thought they were still in my truck. Here they are. I got her smart.
All right.
I bought a 3-pack of these readers.
Oh.
I keep one at work, one at my house, and one in the Suburban.
There you go.
Now they do. Eventually, I'll end up in one place for some odd reason, and then I have to redistribute them. But I haven't lost any in a while.
Okay.
So
okay.
We're doing good. Yep, that's the one.
Okay.
And my iPad's almost dead.
As we're trying to get organized here,
I am failing.
Would you like to bring out a?
Absolutely.
Is that like the standard Thunderbolt, or they call that? Or?
Yeah, it's the little flat one.
The male one?
Yes,
Okay.
the little flat one.
You can use mine. And Jamie alone!
Jamie alone! And I'm supposed to be sharing this. Okay, wait, I gotta share. Apparently there's 2 viewers. Oh my gosh.
Already?
I don't know, man. I'm so... It's gonna be a heck of a year, man. You like that? Not swearing yet. Let's see who's there. 10% on the freaking iPad. We'll be there in just a minute. Hold on. I gotta turn it down so we don't get all sorts of craziness. All right, there's shorts. No, that's not what I want. Aha! There. That. Jade! Jade is here, I hope, after all that nonsense of trying to get plugged in and stuff. All right, Jade's here. It's good to see you too. Wow, you were fast. Of course, I put out the advertisement. Hey, we'll be going. And a half later, we managed to get going. Now my phone's dying. I am a technological wizard. I've got to tell you this. I am amazing. Okay, we got to do that. We got to press the button. We got to switch. And then we post. All right. Posting 1. Done. Now what? Now the next thing. Swipe. Open. Share. Share other. And find Discord. Share again. Share in the bar. Post. Now it's posted. And oh, by the way, to all of our England friends, what do we got? 5 minutes. 5 minutes. Hello, Nathan.
Oh, wow.
Still lurking. Yeah, Nathan and Jade were there before I even figured out my life. Because they're better at viewing than we are at broadcasting, pretty much.
So this might fit.
Well, we can move it. I mean, I'll just...
Which side is your
right there? Just barely enough. Don't walk there.
Yeah, don't walk over there. All right.
So anyways, things I have done. I have shared. Good. All right. I've said hello to Nathan and Jade. Apparently there's 2 other people in here, probably lurking. That's okay. I have wished our friends in England a Happy New Year because in 4 minutes it will, whatever their equivalent of the ball. Oh my goodness. You got a thermometer? I have a thermometer. I should probably...
Might want to hang on. Yeah, you might need that. Might need that. I have my spoon.
We are so good at this. I mean, really, you can't get better at this than we are.
All right.
Oh, and now it's all foggy. It's moving. Okay, we're only at 120. Whew,
You're good.
we're good.
You're good.
All right. It's like tea. Do either of you drink tea? Nathan, Jay, do you drink tea? I don't drink tea, so I don't know. But apparently there's this thing about steeping the tea. If you steep it too long, it's the same thing as steeping this too long. It's like the tannins. There's tannins, and they like, and then your tea tastes like barnyard.
Barnyard. We still don't know what barnyard tastes like.
I kind of know what barnyard tastes like just because falling off horses and things, but
Yeah.
I've never tasted that in any drink ever. Ever. Although, okay, so Scrooged. If the makers of Scrooged.
You mean like the Bill Murray Scrooge?
No, I mean like the beer, Scrooged.
Oh, okay.
Pint cans.
Gotcha.
It wasn't a bad Christmas ale, way too strong. 9%. It was 9% alcohol. I could taste it. It was just bad. And of course, Christmas Day, I was day drinking. Started at 9:30, maybe.
That's right.
But they were Newcastles. They're like
It's like flavored.
3.5 to 4%.
Flavored water, you know.
Yeah, they're delicious. They're yummy, but they're not exactly heavy hitters.
I like the original Newcastle, not what they tried to be with it.
Yeah, the thing is, I don't know. I never tasted the original Newcastle. I have a clone that is pretty close. I bet my clone is closer to the original Newcastle than it is to the stuff you get from Lagunitas.
Yeah, probably.
I don't know.
I guess. Yeah. Fat Tire, the people that make Fat Tire do the same thing. They reformulated their beer recipe.
Oh.
And it's I haven't tried it yet, but my mom was telling me about it. She was like, I don't like it anymore. And so she found a new beer for her, Shiner Bock.
Shiner Bock's
like
good
Shiner
stuff.
Bock, it's your new thing now, Shiner Bock. She used to be a Fat Tire fan, but
They reformulated
it to appeal to, here we go, modern audiences.
That's great. That's fantastic. Oh, modern audiences, huh?
Yeah.
Modern
consumers, I guess, in this case.
Well, how exactly can you? I mean, so I can understand. So that's, by the way, if you watch YouTube movie reviewers, there is a gentleman from Scotland, actually. His name is Will Jordan, and one of his online personas.
Yeah.
Anyways, one of the characters he kind of plays is the critical drinker, who is that's his main movie review channel.
Yeah.
And one of the things he talks about is modern audiences and how all the big studios have, all of the movies are formulated to appeal to these modern audiences. And that's the joke there. So if you don't watch Critical Drinker, I guess it means nothing to you. Kind of like if you don't fix airplanes and we tell
like a maintenance
a
joke.
Navy aviation joke and we're like, ho ho ho, and you're like, what?
I don't get it.
I know, that's not funny. So hard. See, even we have to appeal to a modern audience, or at least a generic audience.
What are folks saying? I can see.
So, we need to respond. Iced tea probably doesn't count. I do not know. Does iced tea count?
I don't know.
I think iced tea. How do you make iced tea? You still brew it, right?
Yeah. You brew it like Brandy makes it. She puts it on the stovetop, brews it in a pot, with the tea bags, and then steeps for X amount of time, and then she just pours it into a big container and adds some sugar or whatever. Not really, like a little bit of sugar, just a tiny bit.
Okay.
And a little bit of water to top it up.
I think iced tea would count.
And then my grandma used to make it in the sun. She would
Well,
pour
that's
big
sun tea.
Big tea container, put the tea bags in there, and leave it out in the sun for most of the day.
Yeah. So that's got sun tea would be much different because that's, first of all, you're hitting it with sun, which is the exact opposite of what you want to do with beer.
Right.
I'm going to turn that down, or I'm going to just go scorching past.
But I think the idea is the same, because it steeps for a finite amount of time. So.
Right, and then you got to stop steeping otherwise.
I've noticed like the sun teas that I've had were a little bit more bitter than other teas. I think because they steep so long, those extra tannins get out.
Yeah, that's probably it. Well, what's sweet tea? Is it iced tea or is it sun tea?
Typically iced tea with a lot of sugar. At least depending where you're at in the country.
It's basically sugar with some tea poured over the top of it.
I know, no offense to anything, but like places in the South, I call it rebel tea because it's so sweet, it's like crunchy,
Oh, wow.
It's like, some rebel tea.
Rebel tea.
Rebel tea. But yeah, I mean, the South is known for its sweet tea. It's kind of like a staple of the South.
Well, yeah, that's the thing. In fact, it's not even sweet tea. You say it wrong. It's sweet tea.
Oh.
Almost like there's only one T in the word. It's SWEET. S-W-E-E-T-E-A. Sweet tea.
And it is crunchy in some cases, man.
I'm not, I'm just like, as I mentioned, I'm not a big tea guy, and so.
We don't know much about it.
Yeah, it is. I know
I don't know a lot about it. I just know what I know through Brandy because she likes tea.
I know the tea that I drank in. I know the tea that I drank in that place, England. By the way, Happy New Year, England! 2 minutes ago.
2 minutes after midnight. What you have there?
I am at 149.
It was like your heat was down.
Yeah, I turned it down because I saw it hitting 140. So I'm thinking I'm close enough that I can start.
Okay. Like 149.9999.
Yes.
Not there yet, man. Not there yet.
Close enough. No. I'm trying to stay on task. It's my New Year's resolution is to actually focus on making the beer when we do these things. One of my New Year's resolutions, along with the traditional quit smoking, lose 50 pounds, start exercising, learn Japanese. Actually, learn Japanese is a new one. My kid speaks more Japanese than I do. And I'm like, you know what it is, because he just goes for it. He's got his Duolingo app, and he's just going for it and stuff. And I'm like, no, I've got to get the iPad and the book, and I need to learn the words and the grammar, and yada, yada. But Japanese grammar is tricky, though, because I think I've mentioned it before. You've got the subject at the beginning and the main verb at the end, and everything else doesn't have a real defined order.
Yeah, no doubt.
And they have these little words called particles, like wo, wa, to. You've seen them. I mean, especially you, because you lived in Japan. Well, apparently, those particles are what indicate how the word is functioning.
Oh, okay.
So you got your subject in this, and then you've got noun with a little particle wo after it. That means that's the direct object. And to means that's the indirect object and stuff. But you got to know. Now, I was listening to someone, and they were saying, of course, there are conventions. There are ways that things are said. It's just like in English, you can say something that is technically grammatically correct, but it's not the way we say it. And of course, now that I've said that, I can't think of anything, but there's something there. So anyways, learning Japanese. How about you, Steve? Got any new exciting resolutions?
No.
Curmudgeon.
I'm just gonna be better.
Okay, so Nathan has something. Gonna be better. That's good.
I'm just gonna be better, man.
Well, that was our.
Yeah, I'm reusing that one.
Well,
because there's always room to be better.
I think we succeeded last year.
No matter how better I'm in some areas, I can always be better in other areas.
It's true. It's a good one.
I'm just gonna keep being better. That's my resolution.
Well done. I'm gonna add that. So I've got 4. Nathan asks, "How was your out of towning?"
My out of towning was good, man. Sorry I didn't get a hold of you. It was pretty crazy. We didn't really have much free time to do anything, man. So I don't think I could even made it out to see you. But it was a good time. The weather was nice. We got a little bit of rain, kind of on the ends. Like when we first got there, it rained, and then at the end it was raining. But the middle was pretty nice. Heat-wise, it was kind of like one of our summers, like upper 70s, So it was fun. Had a good time. It was nice to see the family. Well, it was my wife's family, but it's still nice to see the family and drink some beer and hang out.
Did you wrestle crocodigators?
I didn't wrestle crocodigators, no. That's disappointing. I was down near the Everglades, so
I was
near the Everglades.
I was in Florida. I don't know. Well, I guess Pensacola's not near, but I thought alligators were everywhere in Florida. But anyways, I was in Florida for almost a year. I never saw a single crocodigator. I didn't even see a good venomous snake. Fire ants. I saw fire ants.
Yeah, we had them.
Both on the ground and on my legs.
We had them in our ADV. Wow.
ADV.
Airbnb. Airbnb. We had some ants. It wasn't like a big infestation. And then I told you about the baby spiders that were all over the place in the coffee pot.
Okay, that one's hilarious.
And then my daughter losing her mind over. You probably can appreciate this, Nathan. My daughter lost her mind over a palmetto bug. It came out of the bathroom. It was so funny.
No lie. Those things are scary.
I mean, it was kind of big. It scared the heck out of her,
Okay, so I have a story that goes with palmetto bugs because they're also in Corpus Christi, Texas.
Oh, okay.
Right, and so I was in the Navy and I was standing watch outside, which standing watch is exactly what it sounds like. You stand
and you watch.
What you watch? everything and nothing, because there's nothing to watch at 2 a.m. in a parking lot
Yeah.
the size of 3 football fields, and you're just watching. In any case, so I was standing at the gate to this parking lot, and I was talking with the other person who was also standing watch. So we're both standing and watching, and the conversation isn't important. What's important is I heard this little, and then I felt this tickle on the inside of my arm right here, and I looked down, and here was this beast of an insect. It was like 17 feet long, but condensed because it fit right there. And it freaked me out. I was like, ah! Get off me! I gotta tell you, I do not consider myself a wuss. I am not faint of heart.
Oh.
You know, I would wrestle the crocodigators, but that thing freaked me out. So I don't blame your daughter at all.
Let me tell you my little bug story. I was in Malaysia.
Oh.
And
that's scary.
bugs are large over there. We were in Kuala Lumpur. So it's tropical, you know?
Of course.
Anyway, this is when I was in the Navy. We're off the ship, and we're in this little bar, whatever. And I noticed, like, the center of the bar had this long, almost like a tent pole in the middle, but it was like a big log, and there was kind of tiki-style bar in there. Anyway, I noticed at the top of this big, like, telephone pole-looking thing that was kind of holding the center of the you know, the roof up, these large beetle-like things were up there, just kind of crawling around. Probably about, I don't know, 4 or 5 inches long, real long, weird antennae on them. I looked them up one time to figure out what they were. I guess they're harmless, but they were just, it was weird because I noted it up there, but yeah, whatever. So we're drinking beer, and I had a friend sitting right across from me, and we're just bullshitting, and his eyes just got huge. Just one of these freaking things landed on my head. And so I go flying back. I felt it, you know. So I go flying off the bar stool, just trying to get it off of me, you know. And it flies off, whatever. Everybody's looking at me like, what the hell is going on with this crazy American? I mean, so finally, you know, everything calms down. We're sitting back down. It happens again. This time the bug lands on my leg. It's like, zip. So I just whack, smack it off. I'm like, all right, dude, we're out of here, man. So
that's enough bugs.
We were trying to figure out why these things are attracted to me. I remember thinking maybe my deodorant or something was putting off a scent they were attracted to. I don't know.
Because you were American.
I guess, man.
You smell different.
Because we had just got off the ship, you know, showered, you know, fresh, ready to go. And I'm guessing, yeah, I guess I didn't smell like a Malaysian, so these stupid bugs were attracted to me.
Oh, the thing about bugs, though, is like even the ones that they're harmless, they still look scary.
Yeah, I mean, it was a 5-inch beetle lands on you. You're just like, ah!
They got the spiky legs and stuff, and then the mandibles. They got mandibles.
Yeah.
They don't have mouths. They have mandibles.
Those things look like they hurt, you know?
They do. They're like, it could bite me. It wants to eat me. Which reminds me of a cute little meme from Australia. And it says, see, not everything in Australia can kill you. And it has this little Tasmanian devil with its mouth open. It says, don't get me wrong, it wants to kill you. It just can't.
Yeah, that place, man. I've been there a couple times, and there's some interesting critters there. Like we went to Darwin. They said, do not go off the road at night. That's what they told us. They do not go off the road. Stay on the road at night. If you're out there. You know?
Really?
Yeah. Like out in they had a name for it, too. It's kind of like the desert. They had a different name for it.
Well, they have true crocodiles down there. Those are crocodiles, you know.
Oh yeah, they were saying like
crocodigators, but we got alligators up here.
Oh, those venomous snakes, spiders, all kinds of stuff out there in the desert. That northern Australia. Darwin was close to the equator, so it's very humid. You know.
They have some nasty spiders down there too. I mean, they are no joke spiders.
We haven't told our dear audience what we're brewing today.
I noticed that. You want to start?
Sure.
Okay, you start.
So
I wrote ESB in there, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Was I wrong?
I wouldn't really call it an ESB, but it'll do the job, though.
So a completely normal bitter then?
Well, there's bitters, there's special bitters, and there's extra special bitters. This is more of a special bitter, right? I would say.
It's special.
Anyway, so I'm trying to do a bitter again. I've made this recipe a few times. I've made some changes because I'm still trying to dial it in. So in the style of special bitter from England, this is going to have 6.6 pounds of light malt extract. I use the sparkling light, I think is what it's called.
Sparkling amber?
Sparkling light.
Sparkling light?
Yeah. Because there's golden light and there's like sparkling light also. And then 6.6 pounds of
Does it
that.
have like glitter mixed in?
Yeah, sparkles. Yeah. And then I add an extra pound of dry malt extract right here.
Just to punch it up a little bit?
Yeah. Oh, no, I'm sorry, not sparkling light, Pilsen light. Excuse me, it's Pilsen light. Because I matched up the dry malt with the liquid malt I was using. So Pilsen light malt extract, 1 pound of dry malt, and then 6.6 pounds of malt extract, liquid malt. So that's gonna lighten it up pretty good. Now I'm countering that a little bit with my where'd you go? With my crystal. I'm using crystal 60 in this type, so it's gonna be a little bit darker than normal. I used to use like 120, so it was coming out really dark. And I decided I'm gonna lighten this up. I have a 1/4 pound of roasted barley, which will darken it also. My hops are a little different this time though. I'm using an ounce of, I had Challenger written on here originally, but he didn't have Challenger at the store. So I grabbed something else. I can't remember what I grabbed this time.
By the way, we've made a couple interesting beers based off the fact that what we wanted to put in our beer was not available.
Right. Oh, I'm using Magnum for my bittering hops.
44, 357. Ha! Of course, that's one if you're not a gun person, you wouldn't get that one either.
I know, right? I'm using Magnum, which are a high alpha acid, and in a nutshell, that just means that they are going to counter the sweetness of the malts nicely. They should. Right. Magnum's kind of neutral in the sense that it doesn't impart stone fruit or this flavor or that flavor. It's just kind of a clean hop. I used it on IPA, and I liked what it did. And then for my finishing hops, I'm using Fuggles, which are a British hop, and I'll put in
British beer, British hop.
So an ounce will go in at the 60-minute for bittering, and then at the 30 minutes I'll put 1/2 ounce of Fuggle, and then I'll add the other 1/2 ounce at flame out at 0. And then my yeast I changed up. Instead of using London L3, I'm using the London ESB yeast. So it's a little more focused, I guess. And then I added some melanoidin, which is just a grain, and some golden naked oats, 4 ounces of each, because we like naked. I like naked oats.
It's fun to say the word naked.
Naked.
Naked is just great.
Naked.
Naked. Naked. Say with us, naked.
Naked.
Unless you're playing a game and you've got the mic on and you're like in like a heavily Baptist chat room type thing, then don't say naked.
Don't say naked.
But short of that, go ahead.
So the process will be the same though. You know, I'll bring my water to steeping temp, and then I'll steep my grains for 30 minutes, and then I'll bring it up to a boil, add the malts, and add the hops at certain points.
Right.
Everything's the same. If you've seen
the things.
Anything you've seen before will be identical this time. So.
That's right. So I am making. I have used my Russian Imperial Stout recipe as a jumping off point for several beers now, and today I'm going to be making a Russian Imperial Raisin Stout.
That's an interesting combination.
I liked the raisins in the winter ale. I thought it was good. I thought it gave this nice roundness to the beer. Mm-hmm. So I'm going to try it, and it might be horrible, and I might never make it again, or it might be amazing. Who knows?
Yeah.
Maybe next year for the winter ale, I'll make a spiced Imperial Russian Raisin Stout winter ale.
Some caramel in it.
Caramel?
Yeah.
Like
caramel.
just. Yeah.
Why not?
Because the yeast will eat it all.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I really am. I'm gonna try adding raisins in the secondary. And I changed this recipe quite a bit. So I've got Y yeast 1318, which is London Ale 3, right?
Yeah.
London Ale 3, which is just a good British yeast. I'm going with the Breeze Amber liquid malts, 9.9 pounds. So this is going to be a pretty stout beer. That's the term stout. My hops are 2 ounces of Willamette because for whatever reason, when I grabbed the Willamette, the alpha acids on those packages were really low. Mm. And that, sidebar, that is just something that happens when you make things out of stuff that comes out of the ground. Well, seriously, I mean, everyone, well, maybe not everyone, but I think it's pretty common knowledge that wines of different years are of different quality, even when taken from the same vineyard.
Right.
So, you know,
the grapes were better that year.
Yeah, the grapes. There was not enough rain. There was too much rain. There was the
Right.
perfect amount of rain. There was the perfect amount of sun. The temperature was right. The humidity was right. And so this year the grapes were amazing. This year, well, it'll get you drunk.
Huh.
That's about it. It's like, well, that's good for cooking. I mean, and it's base. And so the same thing happens with hops. Is that what we got? Won't Magnum make it kind of? Won't Magnums make it kind of rubbery? Oh!
I was like,
This is a family show, young man.
Does he not get it?
I did not. It took me a moment. That's because I am pure. Unlike Steve, he is corrupt. He gets your evil jokes. I used to be a Baptist, among other things. So pure, like the driven soap. See my halo? It's kind of dirty, but there it is. Totally lost my train of thought. Stuff coming out of the ground, plants.
Right.
So
the
with hops,
yields are different each year,
right.
So things can taste different. Yeah.
Yeah. So with hops, it's the same way. So the alpha acids, which we've spent a bit of time talking about now, those are the things that interact with the sweetness. I mean, they don't get rid of the sugars per se. That's the yeast job. And Nathan knows this, but maybe Jade doesn't. The yeast takes care of the sugars, but the hops are what make it not sweet. Specifically, the bittering hops at the beginning. And the higher your alpha acids, the more effectively they make it not sweet.
Yeah.
Well, so what are the alpha acids on yours?
Like 14.5, it's high.
Right. And so on my Willamette, it was like 4.8. It was just like super low. I mean, that's like what you would put in a flavoring hop at the end, an aroma hop. Just because
extra large alpha acids. So
yeah. Magnum, rubbery. Yeah, okay. I'm going to talk about the rest of my beer now. Anyway, so I'm adding 2 ounces. 2 ounces of those. Ordinarily, I'd only go with like an ounce of hops, but it's just the alpha acids were so low. Hopefully, that won't change the flavor in some weird way. I don't think it should because it's a bittering hop. It's not an aroma hop. Right. For the aroma hops, I'm going with East Kent Goldings. And put them in at the 10-minute mark. Now, this is where I have to switch gears because my grain bill. Where's my photos?
Well, how'd that get in there?
Oh no! Oh no! Oh no!
You don't have a picture of it?
I could swear I took a picture of it. I know I took a picture of it. I know I took a picture of it.
What did you have to take a picture of?
I took a picture of the list.
Oh.
That's okay.
He wrote it down.
The list is still at the house, provided my wife has not thrown it away.
Okay.
So let's see. Let me try and guess at what I did. So we went Crystal 150, which is really dark. I didn't do. Oh, yes, I did. I did Golden Naked Oats. I did roasted barley for 12 ounces. My original recipe calls for black malt and British chocolate malt, 3 ounces of each. I got rid of those, and I added Victory. Oh. It's called Victory barleys, but
they're victorious.
Yes. Well, but the idea was to give kind of a biscuity thing. So we're kind of going for raisin toast here, just a little bit. A raisin toast beer. Throw some maple syrup in it, and we'll drink it for breakfast.
It could happen.
That's as good as the caramel idea. Anyhow, I don't know this recipe. I know what I asked for, and it's in here, but my grain bill, so I need to make sure I do that when I get home, write this down, because I could have sworn I took a picture of it, but it is not here. There's no picture of this here. Ha! Okay. Anyways, that's my beer. Same as Steve's as far as that. We steep for half an hour at 150 to 160.
What time do you have left on your steep?
About 15 minutes, by the way. I was thinking, do you want to start?
No, I'm going to give a little more time.
Okay.
We need a little more than 15 minutes.
All right. Don't give it too much time, though.
No, I won't.
11:15. That's how many minutes I have left. Okay. Good to go.
So when your steep is done, I'll start mine.
All right. In any case, bring it up to a boil, add all my sugars and my starches and stuff, bring it up to a boil, add my first set of hops, boil away for 50 minutes, add the next hops when there's 10 minutes left, chill, throw it in the carboy, and we're done.
You know, you could get a kilo like I got for my beer.
Could get it.
A kilo.
Yeah.
Get it?
I get it. I get it. Baptist.
You're not a Baptist.
You're right. I'm not a Baptist.
I mean, like, especially the camera looks like something, you know.
I know. You know.
It looks like something fun.
Fun?
I mean, so they say.
I wouldn't want to snort that.
That might be weird snorting all this. Man.
Yeah, that would gum up your head for sure. That's all it would do. We also didn't tell them what we're drinking.
No, we didn't. Today we're drinking our winter spiced ale. Man, this is my batch. Yeah, we both made a batch at the same time. But yeah, what was this? This was the last thing we made before hiatus, wasn't it? Or no?
Yes.
I think it was, yeah.
It was the last thing we made before we
took a break. So
went off and did crazy things across the world.
Yeah, came out pretty good. Well, extra nutmeg and cinnamon flavor compared to last year's batch.
See, I'm happy.
And I forgot to do the raisins in mine. That's why I forgot about it. So
I threw the raisins in mine. I liked how it came out. I like this. This is good. You changed your foundational beer recipe part.
I did a little bit. Yeah, I changed my hops, and I think I changed the grains a little bit.
Yeah.
I didn't do like a drastic change because I didn't want it to be like so weird. I just wanted to just enough to kind of change it up, and I like it better this year than last year.
Well, this is definitely good. See, I left my original beer recipe alone.
Yeah.
But we increased the spices. Both of us increased. We added more nutmeg and more cinnamon this time. Yeah. I'm happy with that. Steve says he thinks the nutmeg's a little too aggressive.
But I think because I forgot my raisins, that maybe if I do raisins next year with the same amount of nutmeg and cinnamon, like with yours, how I said, it kind of rounds it off.
Right, you were mentioning that
I think that might help with that nutmeg, you know.
When we did the comparison.
Yeah.
We could have done a comparison too, but I left my growler sitting on the top of the kegerator.
That's okay. There's more beer for you when you get home then.
Exactly what I need.
And then I floated the porter yesterday, but I got a pour and a half out of it. Those small little 12-ounce glasses I have. And then I don't know how much is left in the, the Christmas ale. So
we'll see. Get to the bottom of that, and hopefully.
Right. It's all right. My esteemed
production assistant
is out running errands and is going to return with more beer. That way we have a backup.
Never have.
It's New Year's Eve, and I want to make sure you have beer.
Yeah, that's true. Although I'm not going to make it here, I am going to go home.
Oh no, I know. I didn't expect to stay here.
Have you given up on the midnight thing at this late stage in your life?
Oh, I'm usually up anyway, but I'm not like.
But are you up for the purpose of?
Not necessarily, no.
Yeah, I have given up. In the comments, do you guys do the whole midnight thing, or have you been like, it's just not worth it anymore?
Well, I'll probably be up anyway, just because it's I don't have to work tomorrow, kind of thing. But
I might want to watch a bad movie.
Right.
Speaking of bad movies, and let me save you some time. Rebel Moon on Netflix. Do not watch it. Do not.
That's a bad movie.
Oh, jeez, it was so horrible. I can't believe it. Oh, man, I will never watch another Zack Snyder flick, ever. Because I've heard rumblings about bad things.
Yeah.
Like, people have been complaining about him, and apparently, who does DC? Is that Universal? MGM?
I don't know.
Who does the DC guys? Disney does Marvel.
Yeah,
somebody does DC. Well, there's the DC universe. It doesn't matter. Anyways, the whole Justice League, he got fired from that or something, and then of course they brought Joss Whedon in, who Joss Whedon, I believe,
he did like Firefly and stuff.
He did, and Firefly was good, but I have just seen his name in the news and seen the way just where his name pops up and the events that it's attached to. I get the feeling Joss Whedon is kind of a jerk.
I don't know.
I've never met him. Maybe he's an amazing guy. The Firefly series was great.
Yeah.
And Serenity was a fun movie. I mean, it was. I don't know if it was Academy Award. And really,
but for a sci-fi movie, it was good.
Oh, yeah, it was fun. And if you hadn't seen Firefly.
Right.
If you hadn't watched the series, it would have been less impactful. But having watched the series, it was a good movie. It was fun. But Fox did kick him to the curb, and at the time everybody was, oh, evil Fox, and that's my thing. So Fox kicks him to the curb, and everybody's like, oh, evil Fox, because there was a whole bunch of Firefly fans, which is cool. And then I'm watching, it's like, maybe not. Maybe old Joss had a little bit to do with that too. Now I heard
that Fox screwed up the order of the episodes.
They did, and it was just the pilot.
Oh, okay.
They like flipped 2 episodes, but they put the one out first for whatever reason, and by doing that, those first 2 episodes made no sense. Of course, after that, it all caught up. Now, for me, it didn't matter because I didn't watch Firefly till it came out in DVD.
Yeah, same here. I was well after it was new when I saw it.
Right. I mean,
I was deployed when I saw it. Someone had the DVDs like in their, their little DVD set, and they're like, "Hey, you want to borrow this?" So I borrowed their movies one night.
Well, I mean, all that stuff was back when cable was still a thing. I mean, technically, cable TV is still a thing. It's just a diminished, fading thing that only some people have. And so, but if you didn't have cable, you didn't watch it. Now we're in the age of streaming.
Yeah.
And my son, Captain Streams a Lot, has all of them, including the ones that I ideologically don't want to. I want to boycott them. Won't say anything. We'll stop there, but I just don't want to watch them. Disney! Okay. Excuse me. Well, sneeze.
Yeah, that's a real chilly here. Throat dried up a little bit,
Anyway, so Timo has all of them. It's like, hey, man, you want to pay for them? Cool. That's his part of the rent. He pays rent, and he pays for all
the streaming services.
Which was cool because I wanted to watch Honor Among Thieves, which, I gotta say, it was okay.
What is that?
That's the D&D one.
Oh,
Chris Klein.
I didn't like it.
You didn't like it at all? Okay. I was at a very firm, it's okay.
Yeah, I mean, I wasn't like I hate it, but I was just like, well, it was disappointing,
Yep, I agree with you. I think it was a little more disjointed than it could have been.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like I expected it to be a little smoother. To be honest, it was a lot like a real D&D campaign. Now that I think about it, with like a quasi-amateur dungeon master running it. Think about where I'm going with this. You've been part of these campaigns. I have not, but I've watched them. Where the storyline just kind of, what do we do? Let's go to the tavern. Okay. Okay. The whole, it's not a super smooth campaign. It's just like a lot of stopping and.
I didn't care for it at all, man.
Well,
it didn't keep me interested. It was boring. I didn't care about the characters, I was more amused by the fat dragon than anything.
Okay, the fat dragon was very funny.
I mean, that was funny. That's a real dragon. Like, not a real dragon, but a real dragon in the lore of that world.
Well, they made it with the blessing of the Wizards of the Coast and all that, so, but I don't know. I didn't hate it as much. Of course, you have more knowledge and experience with D&D. Like, I know an owl bear can't come from a druid because it's not natural.
You know that because I said that.
That is right. That's the only reason I know that. And little things like that. I agree. I thought, you know what I thought? I thought later in the movie his character got better. But they probably did, like his character particularly.
Oh, PG now.
No, you said bullshit like 25 minutes ago.
Did I say bullshit?
Oh, yes. You're talking about the bug landing on your head and then on your leg, then you leaving. You said you were bullshitting. Okay, so that's 1, 2, 3, 4 foul words. Okay, we are PG something or other now.
There's no PG.
That's okay. Anyhow.
I found it predictable. It's like, he's gonna cross him, and then this is gonna happen.
It was uber predictable. Yeah, that was. I mean,
I didn't hate it, but I just was like, it didn't blow my skirt up,
Right. Well, that's what I'm saying. It was firmly okay.
Yeah.
It was like, not like Rebel Moon. Like Rebel Moon was bad.
Like I don't think I'll ever watch it again on purpose.
Nope, I won't either.
Definitely not gonna purchase it. So.
But I will actively tell people, don't watch Rebel Moon. Don't give that director any cause to make another movie. Let's let him fade into the sunset.
That's not gonna happen.
I wish it would.
So you know who Henry Cavill is, right?
I do.
He is now involved in a Warhammer 40K project. And I guess he's like a big 40K fan as well.
I'm not surprised. I have a feeling that he rolls that way because he was a big guy. He was big in The Witcher.
Big Witcher fan until Netflix butchered it. But,
Well, I mean, what I mean by that
no,
is that
he loved the character.
he liked the stuff that they based it off of, and so when they started moving
Right.
away and twisting things, it's like, no.
So,
so I can see where he would like.
I guess he's like directing this live action 40K thing that's coming out. I don't know when it's going to come out, but apparently he's made it clear that he is not going to kowtow or pander to like woke agenda and stuff. He's not going to change the story to fit someone's narrative, that kind of stuff.
Ooh.
So when I heard that, I'm like, well, seeing is believing. I hope it's comes out that way.
Well, I mean, how much kowtowing is there going to be? I mean, so, like, for example, one of the things that is often identified as kowtowing in movies these days is, oh man, I've got 20 seconds to make that point. Like overpowered females, right? That's something that is considered kowtowing. But in the Warhammer universe, again, this is all stuff that
they can
Steve
always
has
twist it into kowtowing and pandering to modern audiences.
I know, but I'm using this one little example. Just for example, in the Warhammer universe, you've got that whole line of female Marines, that are. Yeah, so it's like, I guess the only way to do it is if they would call out these various hot button topics.
Find a way to ruin it for moving away from the canon of that world or that universe.
I guess so. I just can't see. I mean, just from what I've read and talking to you and all the fun stuff. It's such a dark, violent universe anyways. It's like...
Yeah.
It's like, how can you...
They would. Somebody would, man. If they were given the opportunity to pander to gender identity and all that stuff, they would find a way to do it.
Yeah.
They would rewrite the story to fit that type of narrative. Not just, anything like that. It just all that woke type stuff. They would find a way to work it in there if they could. What I saw was that he is like blatantly saying, no, we're not going to do that. We're going to tell a story in this world. It's a gritty, not evil, it's a gritty, mean world. Sorry if you're not represented,
Yeah, well.
Sorry, not sorry,
That's the thing. It's like, so, and this is, because this is not something that I have a problem with. It's just something interesting. Because we're talking about kowtowing, not the issue itself. If you see a lot of sitcoms, almost all the couples. My dad noticed this, and my dad is one of the least political people you'll talk with. All the couples are interracial, and not like me and my wife, because she's Hispanic, but she's very pale, right? No, this is clear. This is white and black, right? We need to call it out. And again, that's not something I have a problem with, but the fact is, it's there. It's making a statement. Look, we have an interracial couple. It's like, yay for you.
It's like you always hear that little joke about the token black guy kind of thing. Well, it's kind of what it's become.
No, that's exactly
modern day sitcoms,
No,
they're going out of their way to be like, put it out there. It's like, just do it. Just let it be natural, Who cares? Just let it be natural.
Oh, hey, Daniel popped in. I don't know if he's still here. Looks like it. Happy New Year, Daniel.
Happy New Year.
Let's see. Are you in Brazil or England right now? If he's in Brazil, it is not midnight yet. Brazil sticks out into the Atlantic a little bit further than East Coast time, so it's like Brazil time, right? You're like an hour or so ahead of Eastern Standard, aren't you, Daniel? Oh yes, he says. Oh yes, he's still here. All right. Do I still have flame? Cool. I still have flame.
All right, I'm gonna start my flame.
All right. I have to pop out. Where are my bulbs?
They're in the...
Okay. I'll be right back.
Whoa!
No spilling or breaking things.
I will try my best not to.
All right. Entertain the people.
If I don't lose my eyebrows first. All right, come on now. There we go. Be right back. Remember, mine are the sparkling somewhere in there.
You did put it in the warm water.
Yeah, I warmed them up. That way it pours a little easier because it's colder now.
Oh yeah, I appreciate that. So
I don't know if anybody answered because I left for a second.
it's okay. So that was a new segment of our show. It's called Beer Alone.
You're alone.
Where it's just the beer. How'd it do? Did it entertain you? Let us know in the comments.
What do we got there? Okay.
Oh, let's see. So it's 9:35 p.m. All right, so they're 5 hours ahead of us in Brazil.
Right.
We watched the London countdown on YouTube. Nice. Yep. We managed to say Happy New Year to all our London friends. Down but not off. I don't know who's partying.
Who's partying?
Well, it's just us and you guys catching up now. Nice. So, Dan, while I'm doing this and can't concentrate on comments and everything, and I can't unplug my iPad because I let it discharge all the way, so I'm trapped to the wall.
You want a hand?
No, I can't unplug. What?
Oh,
No.
With your mouse.
Yeah, I got this. I will
Yeah.
keep going. My point is, Dan, entertain us. Tell us a story about playing piano. And by us, I mean Jade and Nathan. Because neither Steve nor I have eyes good enough to see the comments right over there.
I can't see it. What is that thing that popped up there in the comment section?
It's right in the middle.
It's right in the middle.
New timeout insights. I can't read it. It's not that important.
We're gonna be like the old guy, our hands are good. What does that say? Is this camera on?
What's it doing? Oh, I don't like this stuff. This new technology.
I don't like this technology.
I told you I had my old curmudgeon moment with Timo a while back.
Yeah.
Where he handed me the remote to one of his many different controller console things. And I was like, Timo, just hand me, and this is going to be funny, just hand me the PS5. I don't want to learn a new technology. I'm about to cut this off here. Oh, there we go. Got a spoon. Got this.
There we go. Multi.
Time to add
See,
some.
how nice that pours when it's warm, you know?
Oh yeah, I do not think that idea is a bad idea. Did I have the ladle?
Where did it come from? Little.
Don't worry about those hairs. The World Flock will take care of it. Maybe.
I don't know what it is. Dust, maybe? Crap in the air. It is a garage, so.
You know what? You do what you gotta do.
Yeah.
The trigonometry guys started in a garden shed.
Oh.
Literally.
All right.
And now look at that. They're like in a living room. Actually, I don't know.
But they get to travel now.
They do.
They're popular enough that they're traveling all around to interview people. And
They are popular enough
stir
to.
controversy.
That's right. Get targeted and have bank accounts frozen and things because of. That's kind of pressurized.
Yeah.
Daniel said he played piano once, and when he stopped, everyone clapped.
Is that how that works?
We'll let you take that for what it's worth. I know there have been some performances in the world where people clapped when the person stopped, and it wasn't because they did a great job. Although, no lie, Dan is a monster piano player.
Yeah, you've actually played some stuff for me.
Yeah,
It
man.
was good, yeah.
The boy can play piano. Boy, can he play piano.
You just have the 3 cans, right? No drywall, one of them?
Just 3, yeah. 3, and then
It goes into the Resurrection Ale, 3 cans.
yeah, Resurrection Ale could almost be called a stout, based on calling a stout because it's strong, not because of its color.
Yeah, I don't use the Amber. I think I either use Golden or the Pilsen. I can't remember which one I use. Yeah, the idea is not to make the Resurrection Ale dark, but high ABV. It's supposed to be north of 7, so.
Well, of course, modern beer, a stout, when we say stout, we mean something really dark, like Guinness or whatever, right? But the original term just meant a really strong beer.
All right, 1 more can to go.
I'm working on it. I'm trying to stay focused. New Year's resolution number 1. It's not even the new year yet.
Stay focused.
You know what the resolution for this Breeze company should be? Make a stupid tab for this thing so you can pull it off instead of...
Right.
So dumb. So dumb. Dumbness.
We need less of it in the world.
Oh, it's not happening, man. We are on our way to idiocracy.
Oh, I know. It's that movie was a portent, dude.
Which is really sad. So, I really do want to lose 50 pounds.
Yeah. You gotta quit drinking beer then. I was like, screeching halt.
I could stop eating food. That's
Yeah.
Those are calories. It's all about the calories, man. Calories.
Joking.
Stop drinking beer. You know, my kid said that. I kicked him out of the car and made him walk home from Seattle.
Get out.
What's wrong with you? No child of mine.
Yeah, Manny was giving me crap during my Florida trip. You know, for wanting to drink some beer, I wanted to get some beer. She's like, you didn't drink beer. Like, why not? You just don't. I was like, no, you don't just don't drink beer. There needs to be a reason I'm not drinking beer, you know?
Driving, I'm working.
Well, right. And I didn't have to worry about that. This was like after the day's festivities or whoever we hung out with that day, you know, whichever family member it was. You know, I wanted to drink beer in the room. Or not the room, but the Airbnb. Which I did. You know, I went and bought a 12-pack of Lagunitas.
Lagunas?
Lagunas. Lagunitas and worked on that the time I was there.
So, more seriously, we were talking about the fact that my whole family is overweight. We are all overweight. So, I would like to get back into shape.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Right. And so I was talking over with Timo, having just a frank conversation. And Timo said, he's like, well, Dad, we could not drink beer as much. I was like, no, I hate the fact that you're right. I hate you for being right. But I don't necessarily intend to stop drinking beer. But what I do plan on doing is taking gravity readings on all the beers we make this year, so that I know just about how many calories are in beer. So I know that in my stouts, it's roughly about 230 calories.
Yeah, well, you make really heavy beers, especially since they require 2 sacks. You know what I mean?
Well, that's just the grain bill. The thing that makes them, this is the stuff that kicks them off. But yeah, you're right. I make really heavy beer.
Which contributes to
Calories. So it just means I need to know. But when you do the whole gravity
Don't
thing,
make them so complex, man. Make simpler beers, man.
I have
Don't
one.
require as much.
Pale ale. Like pale ale number 1, that's a simple beer.
That's probably about as simple as you can get.
Well, there's Aslan Classic Lager. I don't think
Well, I
they
mean,
put
what we
any
make.
grains in there. I
Yeah.
think that's what it was. It was just water,
Just some
hops,
water.
and yeast.
Yeah.
It was a horrible beer.
Worst beer, not the worst beer ever, but it was not a good beer.
No, it was not a good beer. Okay, so that.
Did you already add your stuff in there?
Hmm?
Did you already pour those in?
No, not yet.
Oh.
I know.
I was like, wait a minute.
We are on our way to boiling, though.
Yeah. Alright, I'm gonna go take care of this thing. I'll be right back.
All right, I'll be right here.
You ready for a refill when I get back?
Yeah, I will be. So the nice thing about constantly doing things is that really we don't drink as much as you might think we drink on this show. We really don't, because we're constantly doing and talking. When you're moving your mouth and moving your hands, you can't drink. It's not to say we don't drink anything, obviously, because it's all about beer. Actually, it's hardly about beer. Beer is background noise for the whole show. What do we got going on here? All right. Let's see. If I offended anyone this year, then I hope they improve themselves in 24, so I don't again. Ah, I saw that one. I know I've offended people this year. I'm not bothered by it because they needed to be offended. Sometimes it's good to be offended. Sometimes it shines a light on yourself. It's like, oh, I'm kind of whiny in that area. Maybe I need to toughen up. So, interesting thing. I heard an interesting interview today. And then I also saw an interesting tweet by Elon Musk. If any of you are Twitter folks or X folks, I guess it's just X now. We got to stop saying formerly called Twitter. It's X. So, a post by Elon Musk on X, and it was calling attention to the fact that right now our immigration rate is higher than our birth rate in the States. So there are more people immigrating into our country than are being born from pre-existing American citizens. That sounds weird, but that's what it is. That I find to be a very interesting statistic. If it's true. I didn't look too hard on it. I mean, there was a fancy graph and everything, but I was busy. I just like, oh, that's interesting. So on the one hand, that means that we have a replacement population, people to work and do things. Did you hear about this? You may have not. That our immigration rate exceeds our birth rate in the States.
Oh, no. I didn't know. I'm not familiar with that.
Like I said, I just read it today, and it's an Elon Musk post, and as we know, he is the king poobah troll of all trolls.
Oh, right.
That's what that guy likes to do. So, but I just thought it was a very interesting statistic, if that's true.
Right.
And on the one hand, I was mentioning that on the one hand, so it means that our replacement population is fine. I mean, so we've got people coming in and working and doing the things to support us old people. It just means that they're going to speak other languages and have other cultural values.
Right.
Which may or may not, sorry. I was entertaining. Yes, that's it.
I need like sand the inside of this and try to get rid of this corrosion. Because this side here is just like corroding away on the side. Oh.
Less entitled people can't be a bad thing. The other thing that I was listening to is the so this is an NPR interview. So NPR is not a conservative news organization or
No.
radio organization by any means. They are fairly liberal. Not psychotically so, but fairly so. But they interviewed a guy who was a foreign correspondent, and he's been a lot of time in the Middle East and other places, but lately his foreign correspondence has been the southern United States border.
Okay.
And the interviewer asked him, he said, as though it were a new thing, it's not just all Mexicans coming across, is it? And of course, that's about the least surprising thing that anyone could say. It's like, yes, we've known that for ages, that it's not Mexicans coming across the border. But here's what the foreign correspondent said. And he said it's people all over the world. And then he lists off Kazakhstan, Tajikistan, China, India. Notice that none of these are Central American or South American countries.
Right.
So these people had to get on a plane, get on a boat. Somehow they had to get to South America and then come up through Mexico and get into the United States. And I just find that really interesting. It would have been not interesting at all if he'd have said, no, there were a lot of folks from Venezuela. Yeah, no brainer. Who would want to live in that country? If I was Venezuelan, I would swim the Rio Grande. like no lie. Some guy from Venezuela shows up and he's like, where are you from? Venezuela. You know, you're illegal, but I get it, man. I totally get it.
All right. I'll look the other way this time.
Yeah, head that way. There's nobody down there. There's a gas station. They never lock the bathroom. It's relatively clean. You can use that, get yourself cleaned up. But, you know, I mean, there's a lot of places down in Central America where I absolutely understand why people want to leave. We've had that discussion before. It's like, I have nothing. It's like I actually have a little bit of respect for someone who gets up and does what they have to do. You know, no matter what it is.
Sure.
It's like, you have to break the law to get this done for your family. Well, fine, I'm breaking the law. It's like, okay. Yeah, I have little floaties in there too. I decided to just deal with it. I think some of it was hay because I had to haul the hay bale in the Suburban.
Oh well, it's fine. It'll straighten out anyway.
But the whole China, India thing, oh man, somebody's a hero. Your
Thank you.
production assistant is amazing.
Oh yeah, we're good to go.
Yep, that'll be a good night. Oh, Jade says agree. Through the Darien Gap as well. Yeah, although most of them probably jump on a ferry in Colombia and then sail around to Panama. I don't know if I'd want to try and go through the Darien Gap.
Yeah, I don't know.
That's all jungle stuff. That's like real jungle.
That might hurt.
Like Dr. Livingstone, I presume, type jungle with Native American tribes still in there being Native American tribes. I actually don't know if they are violent or if they are non-violent.
Right.
I don't know. You know, I don't know what would happen if, you know, some modern person dressed in modern clothing walks through their territory. Would they let them go through, or would they kill them or detain them? Or maybe they have their own laws. It's like, I'm sorry, you have to spend 7 nights in the hut. Well, that doesn't sound bad. With the crocagator.
Death by snoo snoo.
Death by snoo snoo.
Somebody will get that.
Is that something you need to explain off camera to maintain our
No,
rating?
I believe it was The Simpsons.
Oh,
It was something like that. I bet if anybody gets it, Nathan might get it.
it's the place closest to hell on earth, probably. Really? I mean, maybe we're not talking about. So I thought the Darien Gap was a chunk of. It's down, isn't it? They were going to try and make that highway that went from Argentina to Alaska. And they made almost all of it. Except for this chunk down. It's the Darien Gap. Isn't it the Darien Gap? Anyways, I'm pretty sure. Correct me if I'm wrong, Dan. But there's a chunk of gummel, and chunk of jungle.
So what's gumbo?
It's
Chunk of gumbo.
it's a mumbly.
That's only the
dish.
second beer too, man. So. Wait, unless you were drinking beer before you came over.
No, I didn't drink any beer. I actually just drank water and coffee. Anyhow, the thing that I'm thinking of, South America had a problem with hoof and mouth disease in their cattle.
Okay.
And we didn't want it coming up to the United States. And so the United States, and I forget if it was Eisenhower or somebody, stopped this highway project. They're like, stop. No. Because if the highway doesn't exist, those cows can't get here. And if those cows can't get here, then we don't have to worry about this disease coming up to the United States. By the time all of that excitement was over and they got back around to thinking about it, suddenly environmental stuff was more of a concern, cultural appreciation was more of a concern. All these first world issues were up at the forefront, and they just decided, we're not going to complete it. So you cannot drive all the way from the States to Argentina anymore. You get almost there, you get on a ferry in Panama, it takes you around to Bogota, I think, then you get back on the highway and drive the rest of the way south.
All right, I am at 10.
Yeah, okay, I am correct. It's a chunk of jungle between Panama and Colombia. And they were going to drive a highway through it, but they changed their mind. So, and that, children, has been geography with the Northwest Brewmeisters. Tune in the next 2 weeks to hear about something completely different, not necessarily geography, with the Northwest Brewmeisters.
There you go.
I was talking about
that one. What's that?
That's a hefty sack.
This. I made a sack joke. Good on you, man.
Good on you, man.
It's like one of those things. If you can't beat them, I guess you join them. That's right. We're going to keep it mostly clean, right?
Except for the swearing we've already done.
Yeah, we said bullshit. That's not too bad.
No, I'm pretty sure I hear that on Disney movies now. Like cartoons.
What? Oh, I don't know about that.
I watched, did you watch El Dorado?
Yeah.
Okay, so I don't think that
I
was
don't
a
remember
Disney
the movie, but I'm sure I watched it with my children. So
Right. Watch it with your children, right?
Right.
Because that is clearly a children's movie. And they clearly say things like, what the hell, in that movie.
Well, I remember 80s, it wasn't a cartoon, it was a live action Disney movie called Flight of the Navigator.
I remember Flight of the Navigator.
And in fact, Pee Wee Herman voiced the little computer AI guy.
Yeah, right, the alien computer guy.
But I remember there was a scene where the kid, who I guess was like a 13-year-old boy in the movie,
That's what he's supposed to be, yeah.
they were doing something and he was like, shit. It was kind of like a comic thing because it kind of focused on him and it got quiet and he said it and then I guess they started a nosedive or something. I don't remember. It was in the 80s. It was a long time ago.
Well, that was a big thing in the 80s.
I just remember seeing that movie and hearing that boy say shit in a Disney movie and it's just like.
And that's why that movie went nowhere, because Tipper Gore heard that and she shut it down.
She shut it down. It was PG. It wasn't rated G. It was PG at the theater. I remember that.
Well, yeah, and you know what? That's okay. That's okay. It's like, yeah, it's PG.
Oh, no, I wasn't complaining. I think because it was an S-bomb in the movie, they made it PG.
Well, that's what I'm saying is the rating is okay. I'm just like, it's okay to have a little more austere ratings. What's wrong with wholesome? What's wrong with saying no swear words? Well, that's not reality. It's a cartoon with a talking fish. I think we left reality.
That's not real either.
It's just like, stop with it. Just don't swear. It's like, well, what's odd? Here's something interesting. So for children's programming, I'm all about this. I think you should, if they say hell, it's like, no, you got to turn that to heck. You got to turn that to oh no, something. It's like I realized that saying what the hell is a pretty minor epithet, right? In the world of epithets, that's a pretty minor one.
Yeah,
but
just ask your son.
Yes. I'll tell you that story in just a minute. But I see nothing wrong with saying not even that. And that is where you get G. You want G? You want a good children's movie?
Right.
There you go. Look, if your kids want to hear swearing, they can listen to you talk to your wife.
They can listen to their
Right. They can go to public school in the 4th grade. There's plenty of foul language there. But when it comes to your cartoons, none. Zip, zitch, zero, nada. Nothing. Right? You put a few, just even 1 or 2 swear words in there, you've got PG right out the gate. And I'm just
I think
saying.
that's how it works, actually.
Yeah.
I don't think you get one in PD. I don't think you get one.
Well, I'm pretty sure El Dorado is G.
Oh, it was? Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. But I think it should be that austere because it's like, yeah, I get it. You're like, well, it's not very realistic. Well, what's wrong with being wholesome? Just for, it's like you want realism, just walk out your front door with your bulletproof vest. You know, you're in Chicago, maybe just in your tank. Anyways, so here's the funny part as I rant about foul language, because I don't have a big problem with foul language. I was in the Navy, and I've been known to be colorful with my language at times. But this is actually one of the weaknesses of Christian movies.
I forgot to start my timer.
Oh, you should.
I'll just adjust it a little bit.
Take a guess.
About 3 minutes.
Oh, okay. Well, you're fine then. So anyhow, this is one of the weaknesses of Christian movies. Because I know it's weird. It's like, okay, it's like you're talking about how you want things to be, what am I just saying, wholesome and stuff, and now you're saying Christian movies need swear words? And it's like, well, yeah, kind of. I think that if, a Christian movie wants to put that message out there, they need to go ahead and embrace the R rating. It's like, look, the bad guy in this movie, because the bad guys in Christian movies are horrible. Well, gosh darn you. It's like, really? Really? You're the evil bad guy in this movie.
You're going to say, gosh
darn you. It's like, no, man, 5-year-olds talk stronger than that.
Yeah, a lot of activity.
Thank you. Thank you for keeping an eye on that.
It looks like it's trying.
You know what we should do? We should bring out
Pot
cam! Dun, dun, dun! Watch it try and boil over as I'm getting pot cam into place.
That's why I'm watching it, because that's how things are with us, man. We look away for a second and it wants to boil over. It's like that. It's like having a toddler. You can't look away, man.
All right. Get pot can into play.
You look like you have a milkshake there and there.
It does look like a milkshake, but it's just foaminess.
And it's like a bunch of big vat of tea.
So, but in all seriousness, I think folks who make Christian movies, they need to just embrace the fact that it's like, look, if you really want us to be engaged with this movie and the bad guy to really be bad and the good guy to really be good, and you have a flawed good guy, it's like you need to go ahead and, in that case, you do need to get a little closer to the way people really talk in the real world.
Right.
Like, you know me, right? I am devout. And you also know that I have a coarse tongue at times. Particularly when the camera is off. It gets a little worse.
Oh, yeah. Especially if something goes wrong. And then there's me, too, so I get it.
Let's just say we've had to clean the blue off the floor more than once. Point being, though, is that even me being devout, I'm still not that vanilla Christian character you see in those movies. It's like, it's not that good. I kind of want to see, what's that Jim Caviezel movie? He was the guy that played Jesus in Mel Gibson's Passion of the Christ, and he came out with a movie about Caviezel or something.
I know who you're talking about. Yeah.
But he came out with that movie about sex trafficking, and it was based on a true story.
Oh, yeah.
I kind of want to see that movie.
Yeah, he's like a cop, or like some kind of agent. And
well, he was like an agent, and then because of the agency and because of politics and whatever, he was finding that they were doing a lot of work and nothing was happening.
Nothing was getting done, yeah.
So he rescued a kid, and it was like the kid's like, rescue my brother or rescue my sister, one of those two. And this is supposed to be the true story part of things. Right. And the agency is like, no, you're assigned over here, yada, yada. This is the way it works. And he's like, no, we can actually get this done. I know where they are. And they're like, nope. And he's like, all right, I quit. And he went and chased the kid down, and apparently he was successful. He got the brother or the sister.
Yeah,
I have to watch the movie.
Apparently that movie caught some flack too.
It caught a lot of flack.
I'm not sure why.
Because I think part of it is because the main actor is a declarative Catholic.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
He stands on it.
Very religious.
And
I only know that recently. I didn't that he was like that. You know.
yeah, so he is a very outspoken devout Catholic, I think, and they just came at it from a conservative point of view. And at this point in America, if you do anything with a conservative view, you're going to get attacked. Just like if you do anything with a liberal view, you're going to get attacked. You know, you can't. Superman 4? Superman. Kidding. Dan, no, and no. None of those. I'm pointing at the camera. Of course, the camera's pointing here.
I know you're pointing.
No. There. I forget what the movie was. Not Taken, or Taken 2, or Taken 3.
Or 4.
Is there a 4?
I don't know.
Oh my gosh.
I would not be surprised if there's like a Taken 7 and then like 4 additional spin-offs, you know, that take place in the Taken world.
Yes, in the Taken world.
It's supposed to be the same world we live in.
What is it with this world? Well, everybody here has a special set of skills.
Lots of kidnappings in this world.
Yes. Yes, but it's terrible. Yeah, you're not lying there.
You're not wrong.
Anyways, the reason I would like to see that is because he is a very devout Christian, and I'm wondering exactly how bad the bad guys. How gritty is that movie going to be, or is it going to have that Christian vanilla coating all over the top of it?
I know what you mean.
The sex trafficker being like, "Oh no, you are a terrible person."
He did a TV series for a while called Person of Interest, which I thought was pretty cool. And, you know, it's kind of futuristic, outlandish, with technology kind of thing. But he played an interesting like ex-CIA hitman kind of thing. He was like a badass, you know.
Yeah.
Teamed up with this like super nerd, like tech genius kind of guy. It was an interesting show for like middle 2000s.
Jim Caviezel. Caviezel.
He was in a movie with Ashley Judd where he was like this ex-soldier. And all of a sudden, like, he's on trial for like stuff that happened in like Grenada, like in the 80s kind of thing.
Mm-hmm.
Well, in the end, he turned out to be a bad guy actually, but it was quite interesting though.
Well, you know, being about it. Okay, there we go.
You're about to boil.
By the way, the movie is called Sound of Freedom.
Oh, okay.
Not that matters, but that's what it's called.
Here it is. Control. Hold.
Just got
Hold.
stay on target.
Hold.
Of course, that guy died. So
Who's that?
the stay on target guy. I bet Dan knows his name. Dan, the guy who said "stay on target" in Star Wars when they're going down the trench. What was his name?
Oh, I don't know, but I was making a joke about Glory or something like that. That movie Glory with Matthew Broderick. It was a Civil War movie. He was like, hold, because everybody was like chomping at the bit to charge. And he was waiting for
wait for it.
Waiting for that exact
Classic,
moment.
don't fire till you see the whites of their eyes moment. All right, there we go. We're under control. That is under control. So I need to go get my hops.
Yes, your hops are in the fridge.
Hippity hop.
Hippity hoppity hoo. Totally butcher that song. It's about hops too. Why not?
Where are my hops? Are they?
They're up there.
Are they in the bag? East Kent.
Yours are East Kent? I don't have East Kent.
Okay. Well then this must.
I have Mother Fugglers and the Magnums, extra rubbery.
Magnum. Good for mother fuggling.
Wow, you took it to a new level.
Hey man.
You took it to a new level.
We are already
Like,
firmly in
Tell
PG
me
land.
we're PG-13 without telling me we're PG-13.
There you go.
But we haven't even dropped an F-bomb yet.
Yeah, well, let's see if we can make it all the way.
Give it time.
Yeah, you're right.
It's New Year's Eve, man. We're gonna. One of us will slip.
Oh, wait, hold on. Stop. Dan has something. Yes, but it's terrible. Someone just posted happy 365 days. I'm like, it's a leap year. Is it a leap year?
2014 or 2014. 2024 is a leap year, yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, 2014 is a leap year.
Okay, Graham Ashley. No, not the actor, Dan. The character. What was the name of the character? I mean, thank you. Yes. So the actor was Graham Ashley.
Rogue 2 or something, you know?
I don't know. Guitar pick? That's another New Year's resolution. Play my guitar more. And sing more. And play my cello. And practice my
I
drums.
don't have my wallet on me, but I have a guitar pick from the former Megadeth guitarist, Lou. That was his name.
Lou Reed?
No.
No, Lou Reed.
The guitar player that we saw last year. He left Megadeth.
Oh, he just left?
Kiko Loreno, yeah.
Oh, that
Yeah,
guy.
he left the band.
That's right. You told me he left the band.
I have one of his guitar picks.
Did he want to go do J-pop too?
No, I don't think so. I think he.
By the way,
I think he had family things he needed to take.
You're gonna have to explain that joke.
Quick down and dirty. If anybody knows the band Megadeth, former guitar player Marty Friedman left Megadeth a number of years ago, but he moved to Japan to do like J-pop and stuff. So, but anyway, that's where the joke came from. But no, he left like a few months ago, and he's from Brazil.
You mentioned that. Oh, look at that, Dan, a fellow. Well, wait, you're not a Brazilian. You're an expat.
Oh no, Kiko is native Brazilian.
I know. That's what I was saying. With
I guess he left the band to take care of his family. I guess there was family stuff that needed, attention. And of course, it's none of our business what his family stuff is, so it's never put out. But they have another guy who replaced him. But you said guitar pick, it made me think of that. I have that guitar pick from him, which it's not going to be worth any money, but it's just kind of interesting. Like, oh, he's not in the band anymore. And I have
so cool to have
old guitar picks.
So, anyways, Gold 5, and Dan mentioned it twice. I just didn't see it buried up in the comments.
Okay, Gold 5.
Gold 5 is the guy's name. Graham Ashley is the actor.
The actor, okay.
That's good old Dan. He always over delivers. Dan, what's going on with this? Well, we need to start 40 years ago. Back when I was young. You weren't even born 40 years ago, Dan.
I have 15 and a half minutes left on mine.
I need to give a little more oomph here.
Yeah, we got to be careful because the temperatures are going to be wacky, especially when the garage door opens.
Oh, yeah.
During my boil, so yeah. And it's chilly tonight, so that's going to be.
Yeah, it's clear, and I wore a sweatshirt over here. I hope I don't end up walking. I will call you. I mean, like something. So where I'm from, and probably where you're from too, you always assume your car is going to break down in a bad place.
Gotcha.
Right? You hope it doesn't happen, but you just assume it. Especially when you do long distances with nothing.
Right. I was like, no, we'll get you home. Don't worry about that.
Yeah. No, I'm talking like I take off and a ball joint gives up on the
Right.
burb. I'm like, oh,
Yeah, no,
that
I
sucks.
you.
I don't know if I'd call you or Gabrielle.
Well, if you want it fixed, you might want to call Gabrielle.
That'd be amazing. Hey,
Wait.
Gabrielle, can you fix my Suburban on the side of this road at 9 o'clock at night? You'd probably be like, oh, sí, un momento. Bye, God, and una hora. It's like, wow, he's crazy.
This guy's amazing.
It's a good thing I carry cash. He's pretty cool. He's a nice guy. He speaks, he's weird. So Gabrielle is my I'm a racist too moment. Absolutely, man. So now in my defense, when I first met him, he came in, he's Mexican. Actually, he's Indian, living from Mexico. Like, I don't think there's much white in Gabrielle at all. He is Indian.
Right.
So Triqui is his tribe. So he comes in, he doesn't speak English at all. Like I said, Mexican, grease-covered hands. I mean, just grease-covered hands. And I didn't know him from Adam. right? I mean, now I know that's because the guy's a professional mechanic. That's what he does. So he shows up. I speak just enough Spanish. We stumble through it. Managed to get him the parts that he needed. Okay, he goes out. He forgets his receipts. I'm like, oh, shoot. Better go out. So I go out the door. Now, I am married into a Hispanic family. So I'm looking for a Toyota because, I'm sorry, drive Toyotas. Which, by the way, just proves how smart Hispanic people are. Because Toyota makes a good car. Anyways, but that's what I'm looking for. He was also in coveralls, right? What I'm not looking for is a late 2000s model BMW.
A little unexpected, huh?
Yeah, totally caught me off guard. But it made me laugh at myself because I'm like, I'm the racist. I'm looking for a beat up Toyota or something. I come down and he's sitting in this BMW. It's like, oh, hey, these are yours. And I'm a racist jerk. Have a nice day.
Nice car.
Anyways, but that's like, I'm wearing this. I don't want to walk.
No, it would be
Because it is going to be cold. It's clear and it's going to be cold tonight.
All day it was cloudy until the sun went down and it cleared up. It's like, are you serious?
So Daniel plans on stealing just as much as he did in 2023.
Sweet.
Which is not at all. Sounds like you failed in 2023, Dan, and now you're just setting yourself up to fail again.
No, I'm just going to be better.
Me and Steve have just stolen the hearts of millions. They don't subscribe because they're all jerks, but they watch.
No, talking about, you mentioned earlier about like practicing more and all that. Yeah, I mean, I still have, I think I have a pretty good practice regimen, but I'm going to make it better. I'm going to be better. All I'm going to do is, I'm not going to like tack on a lot more time. I'm just going to organize it a little bit more to where I'm going to kind of structure it out. Like Monday will be these things, and Tuesday will be these things,
right?
And, you know, that kind of stuff. Let's try to structure it out until I can get some mastery over some of the techniques I'm not quite good at yet.
I just need to stop wasting time. Too much Facebook.
Yeah, should get rid of it, man. I mean, the saying.
I kind of use it though.
I know you rely on it for stuff. It's easy for me to say that because I have a disdain for social media, but when you use it actively, it's different than, you know.
Well, like I used it to advertise the boys' concerts.
Yeah, I know. I know you're not like, you're not one of those people that just like lives in it. You know, you just
right. And I know
for you, it's a tool.
I broadcast very little of my life on Facebook. To be honest, the boys' concerts, most of it's, well, actually, over the last 6 months, not even a lot has been political arguing.
Yeah,
it's just check on it, just stuff. Actually. Yeah, unless I'm just like burnt and brain just doom scrolling.
Right.
But I'm about to stop doing that because there's nothing cool. All my opponents, I don't know, they died, they got jobs, and so they don't have enough time to actually post things.
I don't know.
You
know, I briefly considered reactivating or creating a new Twitter account. I can't remember if I deleted it.
Well, so on Twitter, I'm completely apolitical.
Yeah,
I don't do politics.
So I know that's your you.
Yeah, that's
your face on Twitter is a musician. So
speaking of music, I'm sorry, I'm gonna just totally interrupt. Speaking of music, Steve does have a New Year's resolution. No, you, Steve. I'm giving it to him right now. By the end of January, drink them all. That one song is gonna be done. There we go. Resolution made. Deadline established.
Then every Friday between now and the end of January, we need to practice.
Done. That's not a lot of Fridays, really.
I know.
Maybe we should throw some Saturdays in there too.
Well, Saturdays is when I practice with my band.
Oh, well, no, you got to go practice with your band.
But we practice anywhere. Sometimes it's 2:30, sometimes it's 4:30. But there's always practice after practice. So
practice after practice.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
We could always practice on Saturday after I practice with the band.
You want to call it Fridays?
So
I'm totally down with that.
We could do it Friday.
That means we're doing beer AWVs at my house.
Oh, I know. That's why I was.
Well, we can do it here. It's just easier at my house. Turn it up and.
Well, you got the studio at your house.
Well, yeah, that's true.
I don't really have a studio. I have a room with a computer and some speakers.
It's true.
You know, it's not acoustically treated.
You're right.
You're right. The most acoustical treatment I have is the books on my shelves, man.
But it does something.
You know?
But yeah. So, anyways.
Yeah.
All right. So
But
let me take
I'm
it back.
serious
Maybe
enough.
not.
But I'm serious enough.
let's
If you
aim
really
for
want,
that
if you
now.
want to do that, we're gonna have to just set a routine so that we can practice. You know, at least once a weekend to try to get because I got to retrain my voice again to get back into it because I don't sing. I'm not a vocalist.
I know.
And so I'm gonna have to train my voice, even though it doesn't have to be perfect for the song. I still got to get that pattern down again.
It's the rhythm. It's the rhythm.
The rhythm, yeah.
Your vocal intonation does not matter for that song.
Right.
It's all yelly, you know.
Right.
Listen to the Dropkick Murphys. That guy doesn't sing either.
Well, that's what I mean. I got to get that pattern back again.
But
the way you
catch
want the
those
song to go.
rhythms. I mean,
But
yeah.
we're just gonna have to buckle down and do it. You know, that's the only way we're gonna get it done. So
Works
honestly,
for me,
you
man.
know, I know I'm preaching to the choir. I'm just saying, like, I'm down for making that. We're doing it. Let's just get re-engaged and get this.
Because me personally, I think it would be a great intro to our amazing, super professional broadcast.
Yeah, it would. It would add just one little extra layer in there. You know,
Just one thing. It's like that is the
But-
only
but
thing in
here's
your
the-
whole show where the audio is okay.
here's how goofy it's gonna be. That's gonna be playing, and somehow the audio is gonna be on. They're gonna hear us talking behind the intro song. Is this thing working yet? Oh crap! I can't. But it's gonna be. They're gonna hear it just behind that intro song. You know,
Just swearing and cursing. It's like,
this mother.
so you guys are already R plus.
What?
We heard
You
everything.
Oh, that would be us.
And you
man.
need to apologize to your wife, Jamie. Sorry.
Yes, I do want to finish the song. But yeah, we're just gonna have. We
Well, the
used to-
thing is-
we used to be pretty dedicated to practice almost every week.
Yeah, well-
Practicing, you know.
Well, and then your other side project. I don't know if that's a side project or a main project, whatever you want to call it. Your other
Right.
project, your other musical project showed up, and that is more along. What the heck?
Oh, what happened?
It stopped boiling. It'll be fine.
I'm down to 6 minutes left on my steam.
I've got 50 minutes left in the boil. It's really close to boiling. It's coming
Right.
right back to life. So,
But yeah, let's do it. Let's get this song finished.
well, so here's the thing: is that is the only sticker to the whole album, because I'm assuming you can do the bass and the solo work for Better Beer Through Metal.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know how hard you're going to put the bass. I would suggest when you think of that song, where do you think the most important parts are? Knowing you, I'm going to say the words, because
The
words
words,
make
yeah.
it a weird thing. But then the guitar, because you're a guitar guy. Like when we
Well, yeah,
listen
well,
to music,
the words
you
are going to be priority. The guitar would be next. The bass doesn't need to be anything spectacular. Just
Yeah, so
bass. You know?
just put a solid bass line in. I can put the drums underneath there. I can do the vocals. We only have that one part where you do some vocals there, which those should be pretty easy to get in. And after that, everything else, I mean, I would like you to play bass on the other songs, but for those are all kind of country-ish, ballad type songs. Yeah, you could do that. Point being is that we could easily have this done soon. But the one that's the sticking point is the one where you do lots of lyrics.
Yeah.
And it's just a rhythmic thing.
So what tuning are your other songs in? Are they in E standard for the guitar?
Everything. I don't do alternate tunings.
Then. Oh, I'm saying because I have my even though my bass. I mean, I only have one bass compared to my other guitars, but I can retune it up. I have it tuned in D right now, but I can tune it up to E.
You could use my bass if you wanted. If your bass is more comfortable for you to
Well,
play,
I don't know.
retune it.
I've only played my bass a couple times, and it was just noodling around because I just haven't got around to using it yet.
I actually have two basses. I don't mean to have two basses, but Roy has not come to. Roy's not going to watch this. Roy has not come to pick up his bass or his drums.
Yeah.
It's like,
Have you heard from Roy in a while?
oh, he's still around. I've seen him on Facebook a time or two. Give a sneak acoustic preview now.
I don't have an acoustic guitar.
Oh,
Well,
Sure
that
you
one,
do.
I got that one you gave me, but it's not in any shape.
okay. You don't have an acoustic guitar. I know that guitar. You don't have one.
Yeah, that's not a good acoustic guitar.
All right. You know what? You know what, Nathan? Okay, so really, my guitar is 10 miles away from here, so I can't do it now. But
Maybe on a future.
sure,
Broadcast.
2 weeks from now, we'll give you a sneak peek. But we're not going to do the whole thing. We're going to do just a little bit. Like, not the whole song, just a little bit.
All right, yeah, we can do that.
Yeah, we can totally do that. So we will give you a preview. Because, yeah, at this point, it's like, I don't think they even wrote the song at all. I don't think they're not even one line.
You guys don't have a song.
This is just a total lie. They're just teasing us.
No, there really is a song.
There really is a song. And Africa got ignored in the song, and I feel bad about that. I really do. I feel bad that I ignored Africa. Poor Africa. They make
Well, they
beer.
just don't have enough beer in Africa.
Yeah, they have. I mean, they just
Not
don't
in the not in the sense of the American and European style brewing. Maybe they have some weird concoction. I don't know. Maybe
No, they
regular
have-
beer. Maybe
they
South
make
Africa
beers.
has regular old beer like everybody else. I don't know, man.
Yeah, but I talk about Jordan
I just
and
can't.
Israel, and boy, do we drink a lot of Israeli beer here. But yeah, I talk about them. I don't know. I just I just couldn't get crammed in there. If I'd have gone much longer, the song would have gotten idiotically long. You know what I mean?
Right. Excuse me. 2 minutes.
So, anyways, 2 weeks. I will bring my guitar, and we will do a preview of Drink 'Em All.
Drink them all.
But not the whole thing, just a teaser just to prove to you that yes, indeed, we did write a song.
Now the song's in my head. Now it's going to my head.
It's a good song. You know, I have
Just
done
one.
it down. I have done it down at
You've done a Wicked
Teuton, and it's fairly well received. There we go.
Hi,
Hi.
I am running Lisa up the SARS real quick
You should use the car.
to go. I can't get out of that car.
No, you shouldn't run. You should.
Don't run. Don't run.
Ask me what you're fucking
We're being
I'll be
smart.
here all week. No, I won't. I promise.
Out of work. And you guys are here in my garage.
Promise I will go home tonight.
You just call us clowns.
Well,
I'll be here all night.
Yeah, she's,
All right, I'll be back.
Excuse me.
as much as I want to be offended.
Oh, love you.
All right, and Steve's production assistant just stole him away, so now it's all me again. I'm not sure what else to talk about. We talked about immigration. We talked about music and upcoming projects that we are going to finish. Boy, I just have no idea what else to talk about. This beer is going to be lovely. This beer is good. You know, this is like only 1.5 beers in several hours. How long have I been here? 2 hours. Been here 2 hours. See, we pace ourselves. We should go back to pot can. Return to pot can. Oh, more comments. More comments. Uh-oh.
Hey, do you want a coat?
It's time. No, I'm fine.
Okay.
But you need to do your thing.
Oh, yes, you do.
Ta-da!
All right.
Let's see. And now for something completely different. About how heavy is the sleeping sack weight on average? About a pound. That's why I often have. That's why I often have 2 sacks. Is because I do 2 pounds of grain. I mean, that's just because Steve's right. I make ridiculously complex beers. You know, 4 ounces of this, 8 ounces of that, 6 ounces of this, 2 ounces of that, 10 ounces of this, da 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 da. But they work for me, and they turn out good. At least I think they turn out good.
Yeah.
And so
you make pretty good beer, man.
it's usually
No, you make good beer.
I'm hurt deeply.
Oh, I'm kidding.
See you next year. Oh
You out? Someone out?
no. Let's see, 17:30. Wait a minute. How long you got, Dan? Is that dry or wet? Dry. Dry. Everything is measured dry. Milled up. That's dry and crushed and everything. So,
All right, I think that's gonna be good.
like, I don't know how much. like that's probably a little more than a pound there. It depends, but if you go much more than a pound, they usually separate it into 2 different muslin
Right.
sacks.
I gotta get my cans, man.
Oh yeah, you got to do that. It's okay. But that's about how much. And of course, we do extract brewing, which is the, it's those cans like Steve's about to go get that we open up the lids and we're always sticky and we hate being sticky, but that's the way life is. And so we do all that fun stuff. But if you do, when you do all grain brewing, which is the next level of brewing, so to speak, it depends on, I don't know, some people would call it the next level, as in like you're a better brewer if you do all grain. Some people would just say it's different. It's a different style. You have a little more control, but also you have less control all at the same time. Because with all grain, you wouldn't do like a pound. You would do percentages of your grain bill. And part of your grain bill would include your base malts, which let's go back to normal cans because I'm gesturing and doing all these things. So your grain bill includes your base malts also, which is your 2-row or your 6-row barleys, right? And so those are your standard. That's the basic stuff that goes into this, right? And I mean, these are different. This is an amber. Steve's using a light. And so like this is malted barley and water. That's what they put into it. Approximately 80% malt solids, color, 10-degree Lovibond, SG 1035 per pound per gallon. All breeze extracts are guaranteed kosher. So if you're Jewish, this is for you. Who knew? Who knew? Who knew the Jews could brew? There's a little sneak for you. That's a line.
That's a line from the song.
And just for the record, I know a Jew, and I asked her if I could say that. She said it was fine. And she happens to be like, wow, this girl identifies with her Jewishness. Wow, boy howdy. Any case.
There it is. There you
go. So I'm talking about grain bills. So you've got your base malts, and then what we steep, those are specialty malts, which is a little bit different. But when you do all grain, everything is a percentage of your total grain bill. So it gets a little different when you do all grain brewing. We do an extract brewing, so somebody else makes these extracts for us. There's this thing called efficiency, which I don't 100% understand what efficiency is, but as an amateur brewer, it's a little more difficult to control that, which is why I say when you go all grain, you have more control, but at the same time, you have a little bit less control. Like this stuff that I put in, or the stuff that Steve's putting in right now, that is going to be the same from can to can to can to can, because they've got a highly controlled facility where they make it exactly right. We have a garage where we can't control the boil in a 5-gallon bucket.
Right.
Let alone.
We still manage to make messes and boil over and.
So I mean, you can kind of understand what I'm saying. It's like on the one hand you have more control, but on the other hand there are more places to make mistakes and lose control.
Right.
So, like if we go all grain, which we've considered doing, and it's, I mean, on the one hand it's a little less expensive because you don't have to buy these tubs of stuff, and these are more expensive because somebody has done the work. Somebody has malted the grains for you. Somebody has they've extracted the sugar, they've done the sparging and the schmooging and the loudering and the loitering and soliciting. They've done all these things for you. Get my point. I'm one of those. I am a person who believes in paying people for their work. Like for example, if you come out, what's that?
I said I can attest to that.
Yeah. Well, if you come out to my house and give me an estimate on how much it costs to put a solar system in. So we have a local solar company here where we live, and I called them up and I said, hey, I am not in the market for a solar system right now, but I need to know how much one costs. How much will it cost to have you come out and give me an estimate, right? I talked to them, and that was my proposal. Come out, I will pay you $100, $50. You will do work, and then you will tell me, and the work you will do is take a look at my house and say, okay, it's going to cost you this much. And they said, we don't have a way of charging for estimates, but we'll come out anyways. And so they did it for free. But the point is, in my mind, they were doing work, right? They came to my house, they went up on the roof, they walked around, they looked, they measured, and then they gave me an estimate. As it turned out, it was so incredibly low that I bought a solar system. So it just happened to be that way. It did. It really just kind of played out that way.
It's like, oh, that's it? Okay.
I was like, what?
Sign me up.
Well, I was expecting like $30,000, $40,000, and the guy said 17 grand. I was like, are you kidding? He's like, yeah, that's for the big system. I'm like, let's get the big system.
Do the big one.
Yeah. Yeah, I imagine wet would be about once it gets all soggy and stuff, it would probably be about double. Sorry, Nathan commented and said that they'd probably weigh the sacks of grain after they've been seeped would probably weigh twice as much as when they hadn't.
Oh,
I don't know. We could weigh one.
you could be all empirical about it.
That's just crazy talk.
I have a scale.
I have a scale too, but it's at my house. Wait, is it a bathroom scale?
It is. So it's nothing. It's not exactly accurate in that sense.
Well, it is what it is.
I mean, it works well enough for when I have a ship an item out because I do my own shipping labels here.
Right.
I just weigh it on the bathroom scale and then I plug that in with the dimensions of the boxes, and it's been accurate enough so far. Because even when I take it down like the UPS, I'll reweigh it, and then they don't make any changes to my labels. So.
Oh, that's close enough then.
Close enough, yeah. I always round it up to, if my scale says 27.6, I'll round it up to 28 just to ensure that it's good.
Well, that's always a good idea.
Same with the dimensions, well, it even says that, the Reaver app says, just round it up. If it's 25 and a half, put 26 down in the app, when you fill in the fields.
Mm-hmm. Hey, so, let me ask you a question, Nathan. When you're doing,
Sorry, do you have a kniff? Pocket kniff?
yeah, I got it right here.
Perfect.
I'm gonna hang up to it.
Sorry about that. I just got over my kilo.
Here on Northwest Cocaine Meisters. Probably just get a PG rating just for mentioning cocaine.
I know, right? There you go. There you go.
No lie, man. I have seen ratings. It's like rated R, and it's like a lot of times they list why it's rated R. Violence, foul language, smoking.
Yeah, smoking.
Okay. I guess so. Anyways, do you measure honey in pounds or do you measure it in a volume style when you make mead? I'm trying to remember. It's been so long since I made mead.
Just dump it all in.
Well, the nice thing about that is it dissolves. It's not like
Right.
not like flour that turns into dumplings.
Yeah, the good news is, it's only 1 pound, so it's not like I'm gonna have.
Ooh, that was cool.
That was almost like a magic trick.
It was.
Get this stuff going.
I don't know if we lost Jade because I think we're counted as a viewer.
Yeah, we're kind of, you're logged in not as an admin, but as a regular viewer on that site, right?
You use gallons of honey? Wow.
It makes a lot of meat.
I guess so. What do you make? 5-gallon jars of it? I only made a gallon, like 1 gallon total. So I didn't use a gallon of honey because you have to add water in there. What up, Bill? Young William has joined the conversation.
Ah, oh, as in Garage, Bill?
Yeah, like
Oh.
Bill's Garage. Big Bill's
Oh,
Garage.
long time no see.
1 gallon of honey for a 5-gallon carboy. Okay, so you work in the same, but so you measure in volume though. You don't measure in weight. That was my question. You know, like milk. At milk production facilities, they don't measure milk in gallons. They measure it in pounds. How many pounds of milk have we produced? I don't know why.
All right.
Everybody else measures milk in gallons.
Malts are in. Now we're on the journey to boil.
Are those? Did you dump the rest of those?
Yes.
Similar to my answer earlier.
They're dumped.
And it's gone into the night. Yes.
All right, now we're good. Hey, 10 pin.
And bowling.
All right.
That's true. Bill did write a book. Go ahead and plug it, man. Doesn't hurt our feelings. Give him the
Cool, I already wrote a book,
give
dude.
him the name and the link to where you can get buy it. You can actually get printed copies, which is a lot more. By the way, world, that's a lot more than a lot of self-publishers do. They do the whole Amazon self-publishing. They never bother with
PDF.
a paper. Have a PDF. So yeah, a PDF of your lousy book. That sucks. Steve's a big paper fan.
I like dead trees.
Come to value paper more, particularly with music, just because when the lights go out, it's still there. You can at least wait for the sun to come up.
All right, let me get my magnums ready.
So Nathan's talking about mead still. Then we got usually only about 3.5 gallons of water till after the first racking. Then add more water or honey or other stuff depending on the gravity of taste.
All right. Cool. I don't know enough about mead as far as the process, you know.
The one time I made it, it wasn't difficult, but we didn't do it very well.
Oh.
Honey, water, champagne yeast. Put it in a little tiny 1 gallon carboy. Tasted really good at 2 weeks. And then we
You were
let
like
it
early on it, weren't you?
What's that?
You were early on it, weren't you?
Yeah, 2 weeks is that's it's way early. But it was nice and sweet and it was kind of effervescent because the yeast had done its little thing. Me and Wendy really liked it. And then we let it mature longer to whatever website I was reading about said. And then it tasted like wine and we didn't like it so much.
You're like, It's kind of getting chilly in this garage.
Yep, it is. And so we kind of got to keep an eye on things.
You might boil as to warm up.
Yeah, please. May I have some warmth, please? Problem with using the steam is then you're all wet. And it's like, no, I'm really cold.
All right, well.
So I was talking, he mentioned gravity. That is one thing I really want to do, just so I can kind of track that. Like, how many beers have you had? I've had 2. How many do you want? None, because that's 500 calories. But I really am trying to lose 50 pounds. Because I would look good. Then you would be the fat half, and I'd be like the sexy half. I don't think it's going to happen. It's a good thing I'm married. My wife likes to undermine me, too. You have contacts under your glasses? What's going on there?
No, I look at a stupid eyelid itch.
Oh man, I
right
had
on the
that.
corner of my eyelid. It's like, really, you're gonna itch right there?
I had that today. My eye was killing me. It was like, oh, there's something in there. It's like, oh man, I don't have pink eye, do I? That's crazy. I don't know what pink eye feels like because I've never had pink eye.
You've never had pink eye?
No, I have blue eyes. I'll be here all week. But no, I've never had pink eye. Never had it.
Huh.
I never caught it.
I guess no
Anyways.
one ever farted on your pillow then. You know?
Yeah, I had good friends. What kind of friends did you have?
That was from a movie. I forget what the movie does.
Was it the Seth Rogen movie? Or
I don't know.
Seth, I don't know. That stupid Canadian guy. who should
Something
stay
probably on
Canadian.
par with Seth Rogen.
Yeah. I
Is he
remember.
Canadian? I don't know.
I think he is.
I don't think he's Canadian.
Well, he should move there. Ooh, I heard a beep.
You're beeping in the house. So.
Anyhow, no, but anyways, come on. Hold on a second. You guys have room for guitar stands on that set. Jam sessions next year. Might warm you up. Problem is we don't have time for jamming. Between all the talking and the making of beer and trying to boil things over and making messes and setting up
Here
this.
soon it's going to get even more hectic because we're going to have to pull stuff out of the sanitizer. We're going to have to get
Right.
carboys ready.
Well, I'm keeping an eye on it, and I'm thinking we're actually going to end in about 7 minutes here.
Oh, okay.
We got about 7 minutes left, because that'll be.
You know, a little bit of music in between would probably add some variation.
It'd be like the Kitchen Killers. They do a lot of music on their show.
That's right. Yeah, that's right.
I remember watching that, especially that Halloween one that Nathan was actually part of.
So, right, yeah. What we could do is, like where there's like, you know, a boil going on, where there's in between stuff, where we're not having to be too
Well, it'd
focused.
be this part
We
right
could
here.
do like a little, like 82-second jam, you know? Yes, 82 seconds. Yeah. Not quite a minute and a half, you know? Go, go.
Ding 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 ding.
Ah, didn't make it.
Didn't make it. I need one of these. Want some more, you know, spiced ale? Alpha male spiced ale? Or
Bottom
you
of the keg, man. Yeah, spiced ale. The Alpha Male's pumpkin spice. See, it is possible. Anything's possible because we're amazing. It's just hard. Well, think about it. It's not a bad idea. The problem is our audio is not great because we're in a garage. We don't have lapel mics. We have this stupid Logitech. Do you know how old this camera is? PotCam is like 20 years old. That's how old the tech is we use on this show. But it's not old. It's vintage. Vintage. We go vintage here. Why would you? Why buy new when you could buy used? I've seen a lot of the Democratic Party there in those pores, man.
Sorry.
Are you a Tory or a Whig?
We're having full pints instead of those little 12-ounce guys I have.
Okay, that's true. I'm good. I'm actually not complaining.
I know you weren't.
The whole British pour thing. So this is in case any of our British friends or English friends show up later. The British pour thing, yeah, it's all good. You get the most out of your money. But when you're not paying for the beer and you can just go back and get another one for relatively free, the thing about the British pour is you spill it everywhere on your way
Just
to
take
the
a straw with
table.
you.
Yeah.
All right, and then pick your beer up, you know? As opposed to some of the oh man, I can't believe I left that open. As opposed to some of the terrible pours we get in the United States, you know, inch and a half ahead. I'm like, are you serious? Top that beer off, man.
Well, it's our cameras. It's our cameras that are the. I'm talking to Bill here. It's our cameras that are the old tech. As far as audio tech, I have all the bells and whistles. You know, with the studio, I've got nice new audio interfaces.
Ooh.
Good microphones, like $300, $400, $500 microphones. I got those toys. By the way, I live in Los Angeles.
Ooh.
That's where my house is.
Los Angeles?
Los Angeles, yes. That's where my expensive microphones are,
Oh,
in my
nice.
house in Los Angeles.
Your studio house, yeah.
Just go with me on this.
Yeah, totally LA, bro.
Right, brah. I'm on vacation. Try and rob it now. This is a good time to rob it. It would be good to get lapel mics. They would cut it like, because if you listen to our episodes, if you go back, there's a lot of room echo
sound.
from the garage. It's a garage. It is what it is.
It's not acoustically treated, you know.
Yeah, we don't want it. There was that one guy long ago who said never change. Of course, he was laughing at the fact that I tried to dunk the camera in the broil. It's like, all right, yeah, never change. Ha ha ha.
Well, if we could keep the same show, it would sound a little better. That's all.
It would sound better. It'd be nice to have cameras and all the fun stuff. I mean, the way we interact with each other in the audience isn't going to change.
No.
If we set up the Brudio, which, yeah, the likelihood of that is only slightly less than the album ever getting finished.
You know?
No, that's going to happen, man, because all we got to do is get those vocals, then everything else is...
Come on. I'm close.
But you did pay for the beer, all the ingredients and equipment, plus your time. Your time is worth some time. I mean, BBG was always about quality. Right. Well, yeah, okay, so to Nathan's comment, yeah, of course we paid for the beer. And you know, that can bring us into inflation. Segue! Oh, yeah, baby. You know, it was interesting because I paid $102 for this kit, right? This was $102.
That's a lot of kit, man.
Right. I mean, now, granted, it's 5 gallons of beer, which is, how many bottles did you say that is?
12-ounce bottles, it's like 53.
So it's like 53 12-ounce bottles.
Yeah.
So a 6-pack.
So it's 5 gallons is 40 pints.
5 gallons is 40
If
pints.
you want to like break it down that way as well. You know?
Right. Well, 53 because everything's in bottles. The only place that does pints is us.
Yeah.
Even the bars don't do pints out here. They got those thick bottom glasses and they rob you.
Right. They charge you for 16 ounces, but you're only really getting probably 12 ounces in there. You know.
That's a big thing with Steve, and I'm actually right on board with
it's bogus. It's robbery, man.
Point being, though, is that 4 months ago, pretty much the same beer that I'm boiling. A few tweaks and peaks, but nothing real significant. $90.
Mm.
So the price has gone up $10 for the whole kit.
Well, I've noticed in the last couple of years, just overall prices on individual items have gone up a little bit. Like the yeast packs are like a couple dollars more than they used to be. You know, hops are like $1 more than they used to be.
Mhm.
You know.
And by the way, none of this is against.
No, it's just part
none
of
of this
being
is against Ben.
Yeah, it's just because he's had to raise prices because
everyone
the
else
cost of everything else is going up for him. You know, especially with logistics and stuff, and so you have to raise your prices.
Well, look at
cover
how
that,
much
you know?
look at how much of his stuff, like a lot of the hops and a lot of the grains are Washington sourced.
Right.
And those farmers use diesel tractors. And guess what is expensive as
Diesel.
hell here?
Yeah, diesel.
Diesel. So you increase the cost of fuel. Now it costs more to make the hops. Now it costs more to sell the hops. Now it costs more to transport the hops. Yada,
Right.
yada, yada, et cetera, et cetera, et
Right,
cetera.
right.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just cascades, man. You know.
And so now you're paying more for your hops. Uh-oh. All right, that's the time. That's definitely cheaper than buying.
Yeah. Now, if you drink,
Washington sourced in LA? Yes, Washington sourced in LA. Thank you, Bill.
Now, if you drink on a regular basis, if you drink something like Bud Light or
Well,
even like a more generic beer, it's not cost effective because those beers
No,
are
no.
really cheaper. You know.
no, I mean, Coors Light, literally,
Yeah.
12 bottles of Coors Light is cheaper than 12 bottles of water. I
Right.
priced it.
Oh no,
priced
yeah.
it.
I mean, for
And it is like
people that prefer those kind of beers, they're
$10
not
cheaper
making
than
out.
water.
But for people like us, who prefer the
Yeah,
You
if you like
craft
fancy
beers and stuff, we're actually saving money doing it this way. So
Yeah, I mean, because you figure it's like what, between $12 and $14 for a six pack.
yeah. Some of those
Right?
beers. Yeah.
So what? 53 by 6 is what? Close to 9. So 9 times 14 is what? 6 carry 3, $126. So you're not making huge savings, but still, you're saving money, and it's fun, and you get to have an international audience. Millions of people could potentially see you. Granted, millions of people don't see us, but potentially,
Well,
you never
actually,
know.
we could.
We've been doing this for over 2 years now. Did you know that? Like, you can go back.
It's been 2 years, huh?
Yeah, it's crazy. Over 2 years, because we have like 50 some odd broadcasts. You figure we do about 26 broadcasts a year, give or take. You know, we take the end of the year off, right? Yeah, a little fuzziness, but still. Ah, we have staying power. We're not going anywhere. Except right now, we are going somewhere because I got 18 minutes and 30 seconds left in my boil. And we have yet to sanitize the wort chiller or do any of that crazy stuff. So we need to get on that. So with that in mind, Nathan, let's see who's here. We got resolutions. We're going to be better and lose weight. Hey, a boil over.
No,
Hooray!
not a boil over.
Well, he caught it. He caught it before it boiled over. All right, but all right. Well, we'll wait for you to get
I
it.
lost my flame.
Oh, killed it. All right. We're gonna wait for Steve to get this under control.
Not a boil over. Saved.
Well done.
Saved.
That was kind of weak.
It was. We're too far away.
Yeah, it was a stretch. I think I hyperextended my shoulder, man. Might need to go. We really do need to say goodbye.
I know.
All right, you keep stirring. Just say your lines as we go. So, as always, thank you very much for being here. We got to go. We got sanitization to do. It's all the crazy stuff that we just don't quite have the facilities to put on camera. Maybe in the future, we actually will get the Brudio stood up. I got a place in my basement. I got some ideas. Who knows? In any case, in the meantime, relax.
Don't worry.
Have a home brew. We will see you all later.
Next time. Happy New Year.
Yeah, Happy New Year, y'all. Goodbye. Goodbye. This part sucks. We need a production team.